Hello, everybody. This is going to be a short one. It's not going to be very long. I just thought I needed to get on here and express my opinion and get their information out so people can be better prepared. Uh, Evidently, Ukraine has launched another ATACMS missile strike into the Kursk region, which is in Russia. This time they used cluster munitions and the warheads, which does considerable damage. So they attacked an airfield in the Kursk region. So we'll get into details on that shortly. So stay tuned. Welcome everybody in there. If you're watching the replay, I hope you watch it soon enough. Like I said, this is going to be a short one, but to the point. I'm going to be as blunt as I can with people to get the information out to you so you can make the right decision. No time for idle chit chat. I won't be paying attention to the chat box at all. This is not what I'm in here tonight for. There's another day for that. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff happening tonight. Well, that actually, this happened this morning. Ukraine launched another attack on missile strike against Russia in the Kursk region. Evidently attacked an airfield there and using cluster munitions, which ups the ante. Anybody knows what cluster munitions are? They do a considerable amount of damage. So they launched one the other day, and but it wasn't using cluster munitions, just regular high explosives. So this is a up the ante scenario here, and it's not looking good. They're trying the deep state and the powers to be are trying their damnedest to kick it off before Trump gets in office. They're trying to every way they can. And I was listening to the real BP Earthwatch. That's where I got the information at. So everybody look up the real BP Earthwatch, and he can go in depth more than what I will. I'm just going to give you the basic information and give you a little bit of pointers and some comments, and we're going to let it go at that. So let me do this real quick. I'll share it real quick with you. This is just one article, and we're going to look at it. Let it load up there. This is from the War Zone, which is a website news agency. I looked everywhere else, didn't see the one he was looking at. Of course, I didn't have time to look very deep into it, but ATACMS hit airfield in Russia for the first time. See, they hit this airfield. They go down. Ukraine carried out the first attack on a airfield in Russia using U.S. donated ATACMS missiles. They're short-range ballistic missiles. On Monday, that's when the attack was on Monday. The Kalino airfield, about 60 miles from the border, was targeted, which is in Russian territory. According to media and telegram accounts, the attack came as Ukraine struggled to hold territory in the region that it had captured during its August invasion. The war zone obtained satellite imagery from today that doesn't show outright extensive damage at the base, but the photo is partially obscured with key areas not being visible. The presence of any aircraft is also limited, which isn't a surprise as the base hasn't been used as a primary operating location. They wasn't using this base as a primary airfield, but still yet, the point is, it's in Russia. It's right, and the Kursk region is in Russia. And, Putin, he shot that one missile the other day, and first time it's been that type of missile's been used. And this time around, by them using cluster munitions, now he's liable to up the ante more. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm gonna tell you what, this goes to the point that it's like the real BP Earthwatch said, which I'm going to repeat it because I think it's very noteworthy, that you better be getting prepared, because they're trying their best to get something shot off there before Trump takes office. And, I'm not afraid to say Trump. I'm not afraid to say war. It is a word, after all. And you better be getting prepared. Now, you people getting on there and showing your stock of what you've been putting up and everything like that, I'm telling you what, you better be careful doing that, because that leads up to my next question. If there's something happens here, considering a EMP attack, which the power would go out, you might have enough to carry you for a week, but after that, it's usually about 3 days that's going to be tough. And usually on the third day, you're at each other's throat looking for something. And if you make it pretty obvious by getting on here and bragging about what you put up and everything, and all the stuff you've been gathered up, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to be coming knocking on your door and saying, my kids are hungry. Do you have any food? And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to turn them away? Or are you going to say, well, I've got some, but, I haven't enough for a whole lot of people? Well, they automatically know you're lying, because, they've watched videos that you put out and everything, and up to that point, and they know what you got. That's scenario number one. Number two is they just kick the daggone door in and with weapons, and what are you going to do then? You got to think ahead, people. You can't get on here and brag about what you've done and what you've got put up and this and that, and Lord be God, show videos of it. It's all right to talk about it, but don't go into any kind of details. And don't you think that they ain't going to be roaming the streets looking for it? It's best to, in my opinion, to not even have it around close to your house. You need to have a secret location where only you know where it's at, and stock you some stuff up in there. Now, I know some people don't have that luxury, but you better be finding someplace or get ready to ask, answer that question. What are you going to do? They come to your house and say, my family's hungry. You got any food? Uh, and they know you've been storing up for the last 4 or 5 years. They know what you got. Uh, kind of give you something to think about, people. This is not fun and games we're dealing with. An EMP attack will take out anything that's electrical and any power, and that's if we're lucky. And by luck, I'm meaning that the EMP is the only thing that they do, which any scenario is bad. But if they don't get anything like that kicked off over in Ukraine, they're already set and ready to collapse the dollar. All they have to do is push a button, and when that happens, the dollar ain't gonna be amount to nothing. Not even your gold and your silver. As the Bible speaks, that you'll be casting them out in the street because they won't be worth nothing, not a thing. About 3 days after your initial supplies run out is when the rogues are going to start roaming the streets and everywhere, looking for something to eat. Just look what they done down in Katrina. How much of a mess it was down there, and same scenario. And people you're gonna have to quit being silly. I mean, YouTube's a fine platform to express your opinions and ideas and information, but you got to be a little bit cautious about what you put up on here because everybody sees it. And don't you think they can't find you? Because they can, especially the ones that live in that general area. They know pretty much about, how to find people. I don't mean to push out any kind of fear porn, but the proof's in the pudding, and I just thought it weighed heavy on me after I seen that, to go ahead and put the information out, even though you'll probably hear about it by tomorrow. But it doesn't hurt to get it out there. Now, I don't know, you're just going to have to get you a notebook and paper and pen and write down different ideas and put it on a list. And, you're going to have to think a little bit outside the box. Yeah, they know you've canned this and canned that. They watch your shows and everything, and I didn't know she had that much stuff, or they had that bigger stockpile of stuff. Look at all that stuff they're showing us, big racks of stuff there. Now, once you might be able to fend off a couple people, but when you got 10 or 15 coming in your door, that's a different story. But the question is, what are you going to do when they ask that question? Do you have any food for me, my family? That is a hard question, and it can go different ways depending on how you want to look at it. If you say no, I don't have enough, as a Christian, I'm not going to lie. If I see that they're actually in need of it, I will share with them at least a portion of what I got. But if they look like a bunch that is up to no good, then you're going to have to weigh your options. You got to defend your family, take care of them. They're number one on your list, your family. You'll find out pretty quick that your neighbors and a whole lot of your friends will cut your throat if it come down to that situation. And they most surely will. Especially your neighbors, next door neighbors, what have you. Don't you think they don't know what you got stored up? Yeah, they do. Or the neighbor, he lives maybe a half a mile down the road from me, but you don't see him but every once in a while. The message gets around that you have a YouTube channel, and he's going to catch you there and watch some of it. Or they, whatever. That's why I don't put anything secret. Anything I don't want people to see, it's not going to be on video. I'm sorry, it just ain't. Because you're going to have enough trouble as it is without advertising it on billboards. Back in the mid 1800s or what have you, you could pretty much get by with it and hide stuff and put it up and everything because the information, not very many people know unless they were really close to you, everything that you had and everything. But nowadays, with the advent of social media and what have you, and you're just advertising it. Keep your videos as secret as you can. Talk about how to do things and different things like that, but even at that, you got to be careful because if they say, "Well, you're telling them about all that," so that means if you do it on a regular basis, so that means also that you must have a whole lot of stuff put up. And it's a bad situation because those people that do that get out and try to steal stuff is the very people that's not trying to help themselves. And you're just going to have to sit back and think about it. And I've thought about this several times, long before tonight. What are you going to do? What would be your response? I'm not going to turn anybody away, like I said a minute ago, if I feel that they need it or if I can help them to a point. But, it's going to be a situation to where it's probably one way or another, it's not going to turn out good because you look at it one way. If you do give them a portion of your stuff or help them out, they know you got it then. Say, and you're gonna have to deal with that continually. So I don't know. It's just a situation that needs further study. Well, enough of that, but I just wanted to share that because, and to give everybody a heads up of what might be going on. You could probably catch it more detailed, different outlets tomorrow. It's out in some today, but you know how the mainstream media is. They're going to Well, it's put like this: they're covering it too, but that gives you a little bit of a heads up too. If they're covering it, if they're covering the news article, then that means there's something weird going on. But I don't know. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you all, and like I said, I'm not going to be on there long, and um, it's raining here right now in Kentucky. It's been a nice little day today. It ain't been very bad at all. Quite honestly, we I had one heater on about all day. It's not really bad at all. Nice little steady rain out there right now. You step outside and it's not very cold at all. About like it was back in uh, mid October, something like that, or September. But the good Lord gives us what we need, not what we think we need. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna cut her out there, and appreciate everybody watching the replay and all that. And heads up, people, head on a swivel. We'll catch you. I went through that whole thing, and partially, and didn't even have my mic on, or it was something messed up with StreamYard. My mic wasn't even working. But anyway, heads on swivel. Catch you.